Good morning and welcome to another episode of Black Coffee and Conversations. I'm Rico Moore and this is
My name is C.T. Minimar from the West Side.
okay. So what's our conversation about this morning, my man?
I guess by the time you'll see this video, we would have posted a special edition of Black Coffee and Conversation with Delegate Sean Hornbuckle out of Huntington. We spoke with him at the Capitol on Friday, February 2nd, 2018. And we spoke about, just kind of what kind of issues they're covering right now. And that was the same day they had the teacher walkout and protest at the Capitol, which was, they had quite a few people, hundreds of people there. The line to get into the Capitol was something else. I learned one thing: they need to get their logistics together at that place, because they obviously can't handle that type of demonstration, effectively. Because we was out in the cold for at least 30 minutes. But the reason I'm bringing this up, he made a very valid point. He said, that day, these predominantly white women coming there and making noise because they want, some type of change. He says, you never see a crowd of black people coming to the Capitol, at least right now, in 2000, here in most recent history, coming there and making noise and demanding, not necessarily they gonna get it or not, who knows, but at least making their presence known. He said, we don't see that.
Well,
And he says, I asked him why not. He said, well, he didn't really have an answer for that. He said, something, we need to start, making our presence felt. And that's kind of one of the themes of this show, and I know you talk about it constantly.
yeah, I talk about it constantly. We have to make our presence felt. And you want to really make your presence felt? Vote. And then show them, or even get out there and let them know you're going to vote and how you're going to vote. And that is how you make your presence felt. You can have a little bit of money, true indeed, but you need some money, don't get me wrong. But when they make the decisions, they tell you what you can get, how much you can get, what you can do with it. So if you don't make your presence felt, if you don't participate by being a part of it, then they don't have to consider you at all when they make their decisions. And those teachers just showed them, hey, look, we're voters. We don't like what's going on. You either going to represent us and, do something positive for us, or we're going to vote another way to make sure some of you aren't in here. And that's exactly what we need to do as black people, especially in the state of West Virginia. We have such a small number, which is, it sounds like a bad thing. Well, we don't have enough to do anything. But it's a good thing in terms of in the bigger cities in Charleston. That is where predominantly most of us black people reside. And because we have a small number, it should be, not saying it is, it should be much easier for us to get the message out amongst us. Because I know 10 people. Out of those 10, you're going to know at least 8. So it should be a little bit easier for us to pass the message along and make sure that we show up. Now, with that being said, we have to agree to disagree, but agree to make sure that we all, do our best to stick together. Say, okay, well, maybe I may not feel as good about this person as the group does, but because I'm with the group, I'm gonna ride with the group and I'm gonna vote with the group. And that's how you have a serious impact on an election, a serious impact on society, and you make them seriously consider us whenever they make decisions.
Yeah, I was having a conversation last night with someone, and the person brought up, said something, even though the population is so small, here in Charleston, we all oftentimes let, personal grievances get in the way of group cohesiveness.
That's very true.
And is that a result of, even though we have some of the largest numbers of the black population in this state, in cities like Charleston, Huntington, maybe Bluefield, but still,
Beckley for sure.
but the problem the problem is that too many people know so many other, the same people that, egos get involved and, you had a disagreement, 10, 15 years ago that you never amended and, you going around gossiping. And so instead of coming together getting stuff done, it's too much, talking behind each other's back and, gossiping and, well, this person, cheated on, my boyfriend cheated on her, back in blah, blah, blah. I can't, things of that nature.
I mean,
do you think that's gets in the way of kind of the group, togetherness or unity here in these communities?
That's a childish mindset because, okay.
It may be a childish mindset, but it's a reality though.
I mean, it may be, but I'm just saying we got to get past it. I don't care why we do it. We need to look at why we shouldn't do it in terms of, okay, he did this, he did that. I don't really like him, but I'm the coach of this basketball team. I need him on the floor to win. That's it. Now, on a personal level, you don't have to deal with him. But when you're looking at what's good, and you have to, get a little bit beyond the personal, say what is truly good for the family, and roll with it. Say, okay, this is what's truly good for the family. I'm not gonna deal with this guy on a personal level, or this woman on a personal level, but what's good for the family, sometimes we gotta suck it up and do it. And we just gotta start that attitude. I mean, you can even carry that attitude over from team sports. Sorry, I almost dropped my stuff. Carry that attitude over from team sports. We got these kids playing Little League football and basketball. That's a perfect time to mold their mindset and way of thinking.
Groupthink, just like in football. Like I always say, just be responsible. Just do your job.
Exactly.
Stop worrying about if the guard missed the block, or the running back ran the wrong way. If you do your job, at the end of the day, if everybody just kind of focus on their job and stop focusing on what somebody is or is not doing, and I think that's the problem we have. Instead of focusing on your job, well, why ain't they do it that way? Why ain't they do it this way? What are you doing?
Yeah.
They start mumbling.
And when somebody does make a mistake, don't keep kicking them. So you point it out. Okay, we made a mistake, and the person that made a mistake got to be man enough to be like, "Yo, I messed up. Come on, let's back this up and start over." Because when if you just want to use the analogy of football, running back doesn't score if the line doesn't block.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or if he does score, he makes a great play. You say, "Look, man, I missed that block, but man, you took up the slack and made me look good because you made a great play." And everybody's not made to be a quarterback, receiver, or DB. So,
yeah,
and everybody's not a starter. Sometimes you sit on the bench till your number is called. But even when you sit on the bench, you support those people on the field because
sometimes you sit on the bench because in practice you put in the work to get the the main guys.
Right.
That's the thing. Everybody is not going to be on the forefront.
No, and sometimes the people on the bench
are the glue.
Yeah, because they may push the guys that are on the field to be so much better that this guy may have been a starter somewhere else, but he's pushed these other guys to the point that they're on the forefront. So don't neglect yourself or your team simply because you don't feel like you're in the limelight. It's team. It's we, not me.
Yeah. And I think, here, time is critical now, but I think we can do it. I hate when people say, well, nothing ever can. I don't, I hate talking with negative people. We can't turn around. West Virginia's dying, which it kind of is in a sense, but, so we're just not supposed to do anything. Just sit, just sit and just wait for everything to fall apart. What are we going to do?
That's defeatist mind state, which I don't believe in and won't subscribe to. Never have, never will. So, it's not even a conversation I have.
Yeah, 'cause it's hard for me to kind of keep elaborating on it because, like you said, that's not my personality. Because at the end of the day, shoot, we just waiting to die, which a
Yeah.
lot of people probably are.
I mean, you're gonna die regardless. If you know somebody that outran death, let me know. I'd like to talk to that person because that'd be a hell of a conversation. How'd you do it? You know, but I think that whoever told you that, I mean, there's some validity to it. But instead of sitting around analyzing what we do, let's analyze what we need to do. Or, you know, what we do incorrectly. Like you said, you know, somebody missed a block. All right, cool. Play on. This is your job. Do your job. At the same time, when you got people in positions that continually make sure that your team loses, like they're the refs. This is the ref. They get to ref the games, and only they get to ref the game.
They got Donaghy or whatever that guy's name was.
They
remember?
get to ref the game, right? And they make you feel good because, you know, they let you score a lot of points. Only certain players do they let score a lot of points, right? So he's feeling good. He doesn't have a problem with the ref. But the bottom line is, at the end of the season, they never get to really play in the Super Bowl. Ever get to play in the Super Bowl. Or they put certain ones in the Super Bowl, right? But they're just tokens. They're not really doing anything. They're not making the decisions. They're not calling the plays. That's the same thing they do with us. Oh, yeah, man, he's making a little bit of money. Oh, yeah, we treat him a little different, but we really not going to let him make any decisions. He'll make some decisions among them, those guys, but he's not going to walk in the boardroom. Or if he does, it's going to be enough of us that we make sure that he knows to go our way. And we're going to choose who comes in this boardroom. And we're going to make him feel special because we'll say how many points he scored and all this.
Basically, you're basically what you just described, they're seeking out a non-threatening black person.
Yeah, or they're going to let you score enough that you believe that, oh, you're doing so great that these people are on your team. When the truth is, you're scoring and you're getting paid, but they're still making the decisions. So, I mean, end of the day, what does it all matter? They still own you. And, you know.
This
Now, when you start showing up at the Capitol like those teachers did in droves and casting votes and saying, okay, you're only in a position to make the decisions because we put you there, and then we're going to put some of us there, now their whole way of playing the game is changing.
But here's the thing. They came, those individuals who showed up, to the Capitol, there was an agenda in place. They all knew what the issue was.
They all had a game plan.
They had a game plan.
Yeah.
What is the black political game plan that's going to get us together to show up to the Capitol in numbers of 500, 1,000,
Good catch.
however many? What is the central issue that's going to bring us all together? Say, all right, enough is enough. Let's make some noise.
Well, hell, you look at, first of all, they got to take a look at what's going on. If you look at what's going on, go beyond our Capitol. Go up to the United States government in D.C. Look at that Capitol, what's going on up there. The attitudes that these people take towards us from the top to bottom, that should be more than enough to make us show up, in my mind.
What does that mean, though? You say the attitude. That, to me, that's very vague.
I want to say it, but I don't want to tell people what it is. I want them to have enough sense to go look and find out. I'm going to lead you there, and hopefully you'll go take a look. And then I will tell you this, on the state level, take a look at what they're doing to criminalize or put laws in place that affect us in such a way that we go to jail at much higher rates than anybody else in this state. Like this opioid epidemic. We had, Williamson, West Virginia, was it 3,000 people there? And they pumped in, was it 30 million?
About 20-something million.
26, 30 million pills into that little town. Yet, when you look at who goes to jail, they always show us as the people that go to jail because we're selling the pills, we're selling the heroin, we're selling this, that, and the third. But pills don't grow in the backyard, so we can't grow them. Pills are made, in a factory. They're supposed to be regulated, and from this place, it's supposed to go to the pharmacy, which is they're supposed to be, some type of somebody's supposed to have some oversight over that. How many go? Then from the pharmacy to the people, there's supposed to be regulation of that. So somewhere along the line, the chain is breaking down either, intentionally or unintentionally. It's too many for it to be unintentional to me. And the pills end up in kids in our community's hands. And of course, when you're in a community where you don't have any money and stuff, you're going to sell them. But the trick is you're going to jail for it while the big pharmacy companies, some of them may get sued, some of them. But what the hell? You get sued for $1 billion when you make $1 billion in a day. But we go to jail, and now the jails are full of us. Once again, just like the crack situation, you got people at home with little kids. They can't afford to take care of them. They're not being raised. So the cycle just continued. And then they put it on TV that, well, at least they do it either consciously or subconsciously, but they put it on TV and they show all of us going to jail. But then when they show the face of those who need rehab, they're always white.
Yeah. But you
So once again, they're
that's
putting it into the subconscious of the kids.
Direct
that we're the
contrast,
cause.
to the when the war on drugs was really ramped up during the crack era, when they was sending users to jail for a couple grams of crack, but now these people out here not only putting their lives in jeopardy, but they use paraphernalia that can infect or harm other people. Yeah, let's just send them to rehab. Well,
But don't forget this. They also gave us all the coke to make the crack.
Oh yeah, that too.
And that came directly from the government. And to me, doesn't that sound a whole lot like entrapment? We're going to make you poor. Make sure that you stay poor. We're going to bring in the dope. We're going to create a system that gives people more time for the dope that we brought in. Then we're going to put you in jail. Mm-hmm. I'm just, I'll let you go from there, man.
Well, I mean, we all know the drug laws are racially biased, and I think it's going to come to a point where, here's the funny thing to me. You got all the, I'm not, I don't care, I'm not big on, conservative, liberal, Democrat, Republican. That don't mean nothing to me. I base my, view on somebody on good or evil, right or wrong. But we got all these, quote unquote liberals, they say that they're good people in the dominant society. And they're not raising hell about this, even going back to the 80s and 90s. We see that, they're locking up majority black men in droves on racially based, quote unquote laws. And, it's wrong, but they're not really making no real noise about it.
We're not in positions.
I know that's not what I didn't say us. I said, the quote.
No, I'm saying we're not in positions. That's why we need to be there.
I mean, here's my thing though. The power does not just relinquish power, willingly.
Listen, okay. So we do what we got to do to take it. I mean, that's just my take on it because, like you said about the laws, most of these laws, as we know, are created. Now, first of all, most of these people run and they pretend like they've never done anything wrong, which is stupid as hell to begin with.
What people?
Politicians.
Okay.
They run and pretend like, First of all, nobody is. So just be honest about like, yeah, man, this is what I did. I smoked weed. I did this. I sold dope. Whatever. I don't care. But that's what I did. But this is my plan for us in the future as a politician. As a person, you should be able to get over that. Now, with that being said,
but no, they can't though because a lot of people, they want a Messiah.
Right.
They want the second coming of Jesus.
Right.
And that's what they look at, these politicians.
Well,
That's why every time there's
Well, that's a lie to begin with, so they were
I
looking for a
know.
lie
Well,
to take their position.
that's another time for another day. But
Yeah.
the thing is, that's why every time there's some type of scandal or something, the politician has to resign over something. To me, it might not even been a criminal thing. It's just something that look kind of,
That's morally to the left of what most of them think.
but that's not the thing. I don't agree with that because everybody, like I say, everybody got skeletons in their closet.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, whatever they get is scandal. It's a scandal based on something that the majority morally disagree. But what I'm saying is, listen, man, most of these laws are made by people who, first of all, lie, cheat, steal, crooks in a suit, which I don't have a problem with being a crook if you want to be honest about being a crook. But then you wonder why these laws affect people the way that they do. How about fuck what's legal, let's do what's right?
Hold on, elaborate onto that because that's a very interesting statement right there. You can't just say that and just let it, fuck what's legal, do what's right. What do you mean by that?
I mean, if you got these laws that you know are unjust, right? Okay, I'm not doing it. Period. As a group, if we just, people forget, like Martin Luther King, when they went and sat in them cafes and they marched, they didn't do what was legal. They did what was right to them. People forget they went to jail for that stuff. Well, he was peaceful. Okay, he was peaceful to a certain extent. He was peaceful, but he still broke those laws. You see what I'm saying?
My thing is,
So
I mean, we all know that
radical is radical. I don't care.
Oh yes, if radical. One extent can be, the Black Panthers walking into the state capitol down there in California and them changing the open carry laws out there.
Sacramento.
Sacramento, during Ronald Reagan, he said, yeah, this is not. We ain't going for this. Or like you said, radical could be sitting at the lunch counter at the white only lunch or whatever. But to fast forward here to 2018, my problem or my issue or my concern is that not only have we gotten too comfortable, we've also gotten too reliant on the same system that we claim that oppresses us. So how do you rebel against a system that you claim that oppresses you, that you then rely on for your daily bread?
You have to change the system. The only way to change the system is from within. You can't buy the system when the system is what makes money. You're like, oh, if I get enough money, I can change it. You can never get enough money when they print it. They tell you what it's worth.
So basically, what my interpretation of all that is, you have to be willing to spill blood, and that's not. I'm not necessarily meaning physical blood. I'm talking about you have to be willing to sacrifice.
Yeah.
But the problem in lies is how do you? A lot of people struggle to make it to week. And the first, your self-preservation is going to be the first law, first thing you look out for. And so
that's what they teach you. But that's not how a wolf pack survives. They look out for one another. That's not how lion pride survives. They look out for one another. Everybody has a job. And so that's what we have to do. So, that's how we survived in the past, from slavery all the way up, until after the Civil War, when our economy was thriving, we functioned as one community. So what we have to do is get back to functioning as a community. Mm-hmm. That's the bottom line. And you change stuff from the inside. And, they got you here, and spread out. It's easy to pick you off one by one. But when you all right here, you can watch each other's backs. That doesn't mean you all have to always live in the same neighborhood, but that does mean, in my opinion, when I see a kid walking around and his shoes are messed up and I'm doing okay and I'm in, even if I'm in Gabe's or somewhere and I see some decent shoes and I can afford to buy them, I pick them up and I see that kid, I give them to him. I was in Wheeling last week working on a case, and I went into Marshalls and they had a big, all kind of stuff. I mean, Levi's, Dockers, and Marshalls on sale. They were like $4 and $5 a pair. I bought 12 pair, just different sizes. Not because I need them, not because I can wear them, but because somewhere along the line there may be some kids, that may need them. And it's not about saying, oh, I did this, I did that. It's not for me, it's for we. So, and you gotta start implanting that in the kids at an early age. I mean, that's my belief. And I'm not here to point out what somebody else does not do, especially if it's negative. I'm just gonna say, don't even waste your time and breath on it. Do what you do and try to do something positive.
I agree. I would say one thing, that has been an impediment. I know we got to cut the show off here real soon.
Yeah,
if you're always trying to do something just for the recognition, it's not coming from a righteous place.
yeah.
And so the outcome is going to be tainted. If it's coming from you genuinely want to help these people. And my thing is, oftentimes, we hear, well, that you ain't donate nothing, so you ain't got, how you really helping people. I think there are multiple ways that you can contribute. Somebody, may make a monetary donation. Somebody may volunteer, at an after-school program. I think we're doing our part with this, and with media. Media, I think, is one of the most important things. Somebody, may make lunches and hand them out. Somebody may pick up, somebody else's kids from school because somebody, has to work overtime,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera. This idea that, all right, you ain't donate no money, you ain't help, to me is just hogwash. But you often hear that because somebody donated money, they really helping. So sometimes people donate the money just for PR reasons.
A lot of times. So sometimes people, they get in a position and, oh, I can become president of this or this, that, and the third. They love those titles, but they're not really doing anything for
President of what?
anything. The PTA. But they ain't doing anything for the kids. They just love to say, I'm this, I'm that.
I'm president of the such and such improvement league.
Yo, shit. Yeah, but they ain't changed the doorknob on the church, as old boy said in the comedy show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm the head maintenance man, but I ain't changed the doorknob on the church. Man, get out of here.
Oh, God. Oh,
That's the way
man.
I see it. So,
I guess we had an abbreviated show today. What's your
oh, don't forget, when is the seminar?
seminar is February 8th. Hopefully we should have this video before, that happens. Hopefully, yeah, we'll have it up before then. So yeah, if you catch us, February 8th at the North Charleston Rec Center, the Financially Lit seminar, we will be discussing, credit, running a business, insurance. We'll be going over, kind of, money saving, all types of different stuff, And I know, we always say
some aspects of financial planning.
Exact financial planning, et cetera. And, my thing is, I know your thing is, we got to get in a position of power, but to me, money and politics go hand in hand.
True indeed.
To me, you can't have, if you had the money, not the politics, that's not going to work. If you got the politics with no money, that's not going to work. To me, it has to be, a yin and yang, equal balance. And
yeah, we're going to agree to disagree a bit.
Well, that's okay, but if you're in position of power, but everybody broke.
I mean, me, I'm telling you, if you're in a position of power, then you're in a position to make sure everybody eats. If you got a little bit of money, they can always take it from
let me
you.
ask you a question. This just came across
I'm not
my
saying
mind.
everybody going to eat steak now. Somebody might have to eat some bologna. But
Nah, I'm not eating nothing that's got scraped off the bottom of the tub.
I mean, I guess if you starving,
I'll starve because I don't eat pork. I'm sorry. I don't eat
we don't
swine.
eat meat. Neither one of us. So
I can't. I'm not full. Well, shoot, if I'm hungry enough, I'll eat a little chicken.
yeah, I got you. Yeah.
You know,
We do what we got to do.
You know, shoot, but I'm not eating no bologna. I'm sorry. I never have, never will. But I'm going to ask you
You ain't
this.
never had the bologna sandwich
I've
you put on the eye of the stove
no,
and it bubble up?
I don't. I probably had bologna once in my life.
Oh man, you wasn't in Washington, man. When they
Yeah,
had the
I'm a West
gas,
Sider.
old gas stoves, you had to cut the bologna so it wouldn't wreck. But anyway,
I don't. I grew up on pizza Lunchables. I don't.
that's right. You young.
You know, I don't.
You don't know
eat,
nothing about the bologna coming in a big roll. You have to slice it off.
No, I don't eat. I don't. I've eaten bologna
Oh,
probably
man.
once in my life, and that was once too many. And I'm not a big bologna. I didn't like the taste of it. But anyway, I want to ask you. You said, have to get within. You have to get to change the system. You have to change it from within. What what changes, or let me phrase that. All right, to change the system, you have to change it from within. Why, instead of trying to change a corrupt system, would it, time be better well spent creating a new system?
That's another way of stating it. It's the same thing. You can change it just by tweaking it. When I say get in, I mean get in a position where you run that system, or you making a decision on how this system runs, or if it's going to be another system. That's what I mean. When I say within, like you can't just be on the outside of the building talking about you gonna regulate the heat. Now they may throw you some wood out the window so you can start you a fire, and that's money. The same situation. Now, so you may get a little bit of heat.
They ain't even give you no. You gotta start the fire with a little kindling.
Call it whatever you want.
They ain't even give you no kindling.
Nah, they throw you that's wood, a little piece of wood out there. I don't know. Then they throw you some, this, that, and the third.
Oh man. Okay, I understand.
You're not in the building. So guess what? Anytime they want, because they make decisions, they can cut your water off. They can stop the wood from flowing out, from being dropped out the window. Believe it or not.
My thing is to get within the system or to change the system, gotta change yourself. First and foremost, if you're not already,
you gotta be true to yourself once you get in there, because some of them get in there and all of a sudden all they want to do is tap dance.
Tap dance like Gregory Hines?
No, worse. I'm talking about they want to tap dance and bend over for them and all this. But
do you remember that video? Or during the campaign, last presidential campaign, what's that man's name? Roland Martin.
Yeah.
Did you see that video of him dancing on stage with Hillary Clinton?
Nah.
Yes, it's a very sad, display.
No, thank you.
It's a very sad display of a black man. And you know what the funny thing about it? That's why I put in quotations. You know that alt-right leader Richard Spencer? You've heard of him?
Yeah.
He was on, before Roland Martin's show got canceled, he was on there with him. And they was going back and forth, and he says, do you consider yourself a black man? He said, no. He said, I'm a man. He wouldn't say, he said, I'm a man, I'm a Christian. But do you consider yourself a black man? He said, I'm a man. He would not consider himself black. And you see where he is now. Nowhere. Because he's not true to himself. And at the end of the day, you got exposed. And
Listen,
if you're not true to yourself, you're not going to be true to people. And the people can sniff that out. And that's why he didn't have the support. And that's why his show got canceled.
When you got your foundation, and your foundation is what it is, from where I'm from, I don't deny it. I enjoy it. I embrace it. If tomorrow came and I had to go find a different job, I have no problem going right back around the same people I grew up with and be like, yeah, shit, things got messed up. Hey, look, man, I'm in McDonald's, whatever. They're my same dudes I grew up around. Whereas when you abandon where you came from, because now you have a degree and you're this, that, and the third, when they get tired of you or you fuck up some kind of way, and they say, okay, you got to go. Where you going to? We don't want you back in our neighborhood.
Prime
Because you
example.
sold out from day one.
You know, the prime example of that is Omarosa.
Hold up. What's the name that sang it for Trump? Chrisette Michelle.
No. Was that
Chrisette
was that her?
Michelle.
Okay.
I liked her. I can't buy anything she puts out anymore. Omarosa too.
I don't know.
Now they got tired of her. Now where's she going? They won't even let her get on the stage and dance. She can't go to the strip club. Unless a white strip club.
She can go to one of those down in Jefferson that got closed down, revamp it.
She can't go down there in Atlanta. She can't go to Blue Flame. Can't go to Blue Flame, Magic City, nothing like that.
Them pancakes ain't flapping.
Man, come on.
Let me stop it.
I'm just saying. We wouldn't accept her back.
Hilarious. All right, let's end it on that.
Yeah.
We derailed a little bit, but all right. Hopefully we'll bring another show next week or whenever we decide to, do these shows. It's not necessarily a schedule behind the madness.
When we can.
But, I think, now my final thought is before we start judging other people, look in the mirror, see how you can contribute. That's my final thought.
My final thought is stay true to yourself, stay true to the foundation, where you're from and what you were raised on. You never have to worry about falling.
All right, sounds good to me. Deuces.